So today I am going to do my best to turn this into this. A couple of steps to get ready. Let's walk you through it. Okay, so for just the hitting portion, there's only 4 elements that we need. Really, there's only 3, and I have one that's an extra. Number 1 is you obviously need your net, which I have all this stuff linked before you ask where I got it all. I got this big old 10 by 20 Anarchy sports net, literally off of Amazon. Big old net. Number 2, you need your curtain track. Once again, got off Amazon. Number 3, you need your hitting mat. It's behind me. And then the extra thing you can do is some type of curtain drop cloth behind it. I use it literally just to clean up the visual because I think it looks better to hit into, but not necessary. And also it actually makes it a little bit louder if you have the sheet on the back of it. So really up to you. If sound is a really big deal for you, then maybe don't use it. It definitely doesn't need it. That's super strong. But if you like how it looks, you can use it. Most garages are pretty messy, and mine was messy and I was filming it, and so I decided to put the sheet up. After those pieces to just be hitting balls into, I do have a launch monitor set up. I have a SkyTrack Plus. I did some research on what I wanted and needed, and that one seemed to fit the bill at the moment. But tons of really good options. I'm not gonna actually be getting into the launch monitor in this video. I'm gonna be doing another video about that, and hopefully doing some comparisons between the SkyTrack and the Rapsodo and a couple other options potentially. But comment below that ask me what monitors you've thought about, and I'll let you know kind of my research, but also just a simple YouTube search, launch monitors 2024. You can kind of see what you want, what you need, and you can go from there. The reason I decided to do it this way was because we use our garage. I didn't have a lot of space to dedicate to a full hitting bay setup. I couldn't leave it up permanently, but I did want to be able to hit. Also, I just know that if it's really hard to set up, I'm not going to use it often, but if I can do it in like 30 seconds or a minute, then I'm definitely going to take the time to set something up and do it. Even at this house, it's a 2-car garage. We had a 3-car in our last house, but in here, it's really important that it's really easy to set up and take down, and it doesn't take away any permanent space from the garage as we're using the area. So as far as space goes, you gotta just get in your garage and hold a golf club. This garage, I just measured it, it's about 9 feet tall. I think that's gonna be fine. The last garage I was in was 9'4", and I had a 10-foot net. So I had a little bit of layover at the end, like the net kind of draped down a little bit at the floor, which was good because no balls ever went under. So this should be good. As far as where I'm gonna hit, you just gotta go into your space, hold a golf club, hold the longest golf club you think you can hit in there, and see where you can take a comfortable backswing and not hit the ceiling or not feel restricted. Because when you're swinging indoors or on a simulator, if you feel really restricted in your swing, it's just like it's not real data. It's not actually how you play. It's a different golf swing. So you wanna feel comfortable. So I'm gonna take a club. I'm gonna take the longest club that I wanna hit in here, which is my mini driver. Driver, I don't know, scares me a little bit inside. So I'm gonna take my mini driver around and see what area feels the best to be moving the club around in. So the things that I have to think about. 1, I want my net to be off of the wall by a little bit. Probably to protect against the shank, I'm gonna want my track to come out past this doorway and past this just a little bit. And then as far as where it ends over there, a question I get asked a lot is how far from the wall should it be? The answer I always give is as far as you can get it from the wall so you feel comfortable. If you have it right by the wall and you feel like you have to swing easy so you don't hit the ball into the net too hard, once again, it's a restricted swing, it's not good. And so I'm gonna think, maybe I'm gonna come a foot and a half off of this wall and then take it. Honestly, I might just take it right in front of this light. I could probably take it right behind the light. Take it over here a little bit and then maybe connect it. So kind of in my mind, I'm running a track kind of like this. And then when it all closes down, I can probably just bungee it all to this wall and keep it out of the way. That's kind of the current idea. So let's measure it out. Okay. The current plan, very basic. I think I'm gonna go 1.5 feet off of the right wall. And then I'm gonna have this right side by the door. This is the door to my house. Nice. I'm gonna go 10 feet down, 7 feet across, and then 3 feet here. It might just curve kind of soft anyways. These usually curve. And the target strip is gonna be on the right side of where I'm hitting at. My mat will go here. I'll line up here and aim down the right side. I'm not gonna mess up my alignment by hitting poles into the center. You wanna make sure you hit down the right side of the net and have proper alignment. So I think that's the go-to right now. I'm gonna start by actually measuring the spots on the roof this needs to go, or on the ceiling that this needs to go. And then I can start screwing in the clips for the curtain track. So we'll go from there. Quick, I have my clips still on here, but I have 14 plus one I've taken off, so I have 15 clips total. This is what holds the curtain track actually in place on the ceiling. I have 20 feet of track, and I have 15 clips. So I'm gonna put, it's a little bit less than every 1.5 feet that I can put up these clips up onto the ceiling. And so I'm gonna put marks for all 15 clips, drill the holes, put in the drywall screws, and then actually screw these in one by one into that. And then this track clips in very, very easily into these clips once they're actually up on the ceiling. So it's kind of order operations. We're gonna put some marks, put up these clips, and then attach the actual track. I'll be honest, I just spent a lot of time trying to do a lot of math to figure out the exact number that I need for separation between my clips. And it doesn't freaking matter. Just like, get the clips up there. The only tips I would give is around the corners need to bend. And so you don't put a clip in the corners of your track, right? So if I'm 10 by 7, I'm not actually putting a clip at where the 10 and 7 meet. I'm putting a clip maybe 6 or 8 inches inside of that on both sides of the curve, so the curve can roll really easily for the track. So I was gonna go drill a bunch of holes and freaking get the clips up. Easiest way to get straight lines for your track is put a little bit of painter's tape up on one corner, go to the other side, and then tape it up, and you'll have really, really straight lines. You can do string too, but this is easier in general, so a little hack. And you screw next to it so you can take it off afterwards, so it's not still on your roof. Okay, we got all the drywall screws in, time to screw in the clips. Okay, all the clips are now in. Now I gotta deal with this mess. When this comes shipped to you, it's gonna be really, really tightly coiled, and it'll feel like it's impossible to get it straight. What I did, and what I saw a couple of people do just in the Amazon review comments, is they soaked it in hot water for like a couple minutes, and then they stretched it out. Honestly, I soaked it in water for a few minutes, and then I just spent some time bending it backwards at like each point. And not perfect, we're going for B+ here, but you can get it pretty straight. So you kind of go based on your track, and like if you have a more significant bend at 10 feet, you can have kind of straight and then let it bend and whatever. But in general, track's gonna be fine, especially with how close the clips end up being. It holds it in place. If you're super OCD, you can go crazy and steam it or something, get it perfect. But for me, good enough's good enough. And I'm just gonna bend this back out because I had it coiled when I had it packed up. And we're gonna clip it in. There's 2 sides to this track. The top side is flat. This is what's going into the clips. The bottom side is a little bit bowed, and that's where the rollers attach. So I'm gonna flatten this out a little bit. I'm gonna put all the rollers on, and then we're gonna clip this up. This clip that comes with it is gonna go over this and locks it all down so the rollers don't fall off. I'm gonna slide all the rollers on with the hooks attached so that I don't have to do that holding it above my head, above my shoulders on the ceiling. That's super annoying. So I'm gonna throw all these on really quick and we'll clip it to the ceiling. that track, it's like 40 bucks. So be prepared to fight it a little bit. It's a little bit annoying. Clipping it in, you clip away from you first, and then it pops into the track. I forgot that, and I shook my track and a bunch of my little hooks came out. So that was annoying, but we fixed that and we got it all up. Track is officially on the ceiling. Last thing to do is attach the net. Now I have like 30 odd clips, and I know I have 20 feet of net. So I'm gonna kind of divide that in my mind and figure out how often I need to be hanging the net. If you're gonna add extra hooks at a certain part of the net, do it where impact is. You want the most clips supporting the impact zone. I've seen a lot of people that hit into this net that have made this when they saw my video, and their clips will break at impact, and it's because they have them spread pretty thin right there, so it's like 1 or 2 clips taking it. You can even just kind of scrunch the net up right there, so more clips are taking impact. And if that's really a problem, if you have really high swing speed or whatever, you can probably just get some elastics or some little bungees, some little hair ties even, and put them on the net attached to the clip, kind of like you loop it through and attach, and so there's a little bit of give as impact happens. For me, I don't swing it crazy fast. I mostly just hit my wedges in here anyway. And so I've never had an issue with that, but I also use all of the clips, and I try to distribute the weight really well. We did it. I would say that probably took me around 2 hours probably. I have done it before, so it wasn't that bad. I did forget a few steps along the way too. I would say if you're gonna do this, make sure you have enough space to swing comfortably. Go out, hold the club up, and figure out if it does work for you. But because it can break down so easily, it can just go in the middle of your freaking garage and it doesn't matter. Just back the cars out, hit a couple balls, pull them back in. Also, thanks for the support on the idea and on the videos and everything, especially on the social media side so far. Because of the Amazon links and the stuff that I get kickback from, my setup has paid for itself a couple of times already from everybody supporting and using my links and building the same setup. I love getting DMs with pictures and videos of people that have built the exact same setup and how they've done it in their house. So if you do that, seriously, shoot me a DM. I'd love to see it. It's fun to know that more people are able to play at home. And anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm happy to respond to them. Also, make sure to sub here. It helps me out. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.